Good morning, sweet people. Listen, I just had to get on here this morning and apologize for my live the other day. I just talked and talked and talked, and my sound wasn't even on. And I'm thinking, what in this world am I doing? What in this world am I doing? Anyway, I didn't know that the sound wasn't on until the very last of the video. And so last night when I went to bed, I was going to read all the comments, because that's the only chance that I had to do that. So anyway, I got on the, oh goodness, I got on the, into bed, turned on my phone. I thought, I'm going to read all the comments and see if they're fussing at me for my not having my sound on. Well, I got in there and I started laughing because all of y'all were laughing. They said, look at her. She is just talking up a storm and we don't even know what she's saying. And then one lady wrote in and she said, I wish I could read lips. Hey, I couldn't even read my own lips. But what I was actually saying, and a lot of y'all wanted to know, I'm going to go ahead and tell you this morning. I went to my heart doctor to get my, well, it was the second time I had been in like 2 weeks. Okay, so here's what he does. When I go, he does a whole blood workup on me. And then when he does that, I don't even know if y'all can see. I'm going to put you down just a little bit so make sure you can see. Like that. There you go. And he sent me also to the sleep clinic to make sure my sleep apnea machine was set on the right setting, you know, because we gain weight, we lose weight, so things change. And so I went to the sleep clinic and got that done. He gave me an ultrasound or, you know, EKG or something, just to look at my heart. And he did that and did all this stuff. So then you meet back with the doctor to go over all the tests that he did. Well, yesterday, or let's see what day, Wednesday was my day to go back. And he met with me and he made me also write down my blood pressure for about 4 days at different times of the day, which I did. I'd get back there. I've got one of those kind that goes on your arm. Not your wrist, but your actual arm. So I took that to him. So here's the result. My heart is good. My blood pressure is excellent. My blood work, there was something in that I needed improvement on, and it was magnesium. It was a little low. So he wanted me to get a little magnesium, which I did. I'm taking that. Because I don't know why I didn't have enough magnesium, because I ate a lot of greens, I ate a lot of collards and stuff like that, which are high in magnesium, I think. But anyway, I looked up my foods to make sure I'm eating enough of the stuff that has magnesium in it. And so I did that, and that was it. I mean, everything was great. So he said he didn't want to see me again for about 4 or 5 months. And we just check again. He said my weight was real good. I weighed right at 150 pounds. Everybody says, you don't look like you weigh that much, Brenda. Well, I do. I think their scales are wrong, though, don't you, at the doctor's office? I always hate to get up there on them. Because you've got your shoes on, you've got your clothes on, and you know, they weigh a pound or two, don't they? We always hate to get up there on those things, but anyway. And here's why I even have to go to the heart doctor to start with. Y'all don't know that. But about 7 years ago, that's when George was sick. That was my husband. And so he had vascular dementia, which means not enough oxygen to the brain, okay? And so I was tending to him and all, and I had an attack of AFib. That's what it's called. They had to rush me to the doctor or hospital because they couldn't get my heart rate down. And you know, I think that was caused from stress. It's hard on people when they have somebody that they're taking care of, because you love that person so much, and you're having emotional cries and concerns during those times, okay? Anyway, so they sent me to the hospital in Mobile, Alabama. That's where I was 7 years ago, to see if they could fix my AFib, which they did. I had what's called an ablation done on my heart to help my AFib. That's where they go in through your groin, go all the way up to your heart, and they, I guess you'd say, well, in layman's terms, burned that little spot in your heart where it doesn't want to. Let me turn on my grease over here. Y'all wait a minute. Where it doesn't want to work right. So anyway, I went in the doctor and on the ambulance, and Hannah went with me. And we got down there, and I looked at Hannah. I said, Hannah, I said, no matter how this turns out, darling, I'm ready to go. If it turns, you just know that it's okay. Whatever happens is okay. And of course, she stood right there with me, and they prepped me, and then went in there, and I had the ablation. Well, when the doctor got in there, the surgeon or one that does it, he said, after I got out, he said, when I got in there, I realized that you had another spot in your heart that was fixing to go shh, so I burned that part too. I said, well, that's great. I'm glad you went ahead and burned it. So that's why I have to take a blood thinner. The reason I take a blood thinner is because when you have AFib, they tell me that your chances of having a stroke are greater. And the reason they told me that was because when your heart's not beating right, the blood tends to puddle in your heart. And if it puddles, it may make some clots. And if it makes a clot, you may have stroke. So I take a blood thinner. I've been taking it for 7 years. So that's what I was trying to tell y'all yesterday as I got back from the doctor. And so far, my heart looks great. Everything's going good. My blood pressure's good. My cholesterol's good. My good cholesterol, my bad cholesterol. I'm going to work on my bad cholesterol just a little bit. It might have been, 2 points high. He said he'd like for it to be under 100, and mine was 102. So I'll work on that. Instead of having 2 eggs for breakfast like I normally do, I'll just eat 1. That ought to do it. I'll eat 1 biscuit instead of 2. So that's what I was talking to y'all about the other day. And I also was talking to you about Jonah. On Wednesday nights at Bible study, we're studying Jonah. And if there's anybody watching today that is a new follower, which that's possible, I'm making fried apple pies, y'all, but my other followers have seen it so many times, they can make these things by heart. But anyway, we're studying Jonah and how Jonah, God wanted him to go to Nineveh to tell them, everybody in Nineveh to repent. And he didn't want to do it. Jonah did not want to do that. So he went the opposite direction. And finally, after a bout with the fish and everything else, being swallowed by a fish and the storms on the boat and this, that, and the other, when he went the opposite direction, God finally convinced him, hey, you need to go to Nineveh. He did not want to go, though, but he did, and he did do what God told him to do, but he wasn't happy with it. He was not a happy camper going to there, because Nineveh was a very cruel people, the Ninevites. They were cruel. But when he did go, they did repent and turn to God. They did do that. And you know, the reason I was talking to you about that is because so many times in life, we run from God. We don't want to do what he says for us to do. We just try our best to not do what he's telling us to do. And it might be because we're afraid. It might be because we just don't want to do it. It might be because he's asking us to leave home. It might be because he's asking us to give more money. It might be he's asking for our time. But there's so many times that we fight what we know to do. What we know in our heart God's telling us to do. And we fight it just like Jonah did. We're no different than he is. We're no different. We don't always want to do. There's some of us who have come to the point in our life where we do want to do what God does, but we're afraid to do it. We're afraid for some reason or another. And so we don't know the blessings it can bring if we will just follow what God's saying to do. And that's what I was talking about. Now last night I went to church. We have a Wednesday night meal, and oh, it was so good last night. We had lasagna, homemade lasagna, and homemade spaghetti. You could have both or whichever one you wanted to have. And so I got the lasagna. And we had a huge, beautiful salad with it that our kitchen committee made. And where they had chocolate dessert, and they had French bread fixed with some good butter and stuff on it. I did not eat a dessert. I thought, well, I'm going to be good tonight. And a lot of times I won't eat bread, but I did last night. It looked so good, and it was delicious. Then coming home from church, I thought to myself, Brenda, why did you eat that bread? You knew you didn't eat it. But I ate it, and I enjoyed it. So, anyway. All right, now grease is getting hot. We're fixing to fry these fried apple pies. Let me see how many I got right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need one more. And this is going to be it. But I got that bed, and I read y'all's comments, and one lady said, well, several of you said, I want y'all to look. 8,000 people are following her on this live, and they can't even hear her. Y'all were just, I guess she's trying to read my lips. Y'all remember that old saying, it just said, read my lips. Well, that's what was happening. It's been hot in Andalusia, so I am wearing dresses because they are so much cooler. I've got on this little dress today. I had on the dress yesterday and the day before because they're so cool. But anyway, one of you sent me 2 dresses, and they are so cute. But you sent a medium. I cannot wear a medium. I have to have a large. And I know y'all think, well, are you that large? But my shoulders are wide, and I'm thick through my back. So I have to have a large. So please don't send me a medium because I can't wear it. I wear a large. I have to have it. It's too tight if I put on anything else but that. So I may go to town today and see if I see any cute little dresses to buy. All right, get over here. Let me wash my hands off. Here's how you get your stuff off your hands. You do like that. Okay, y'all come over here and we will fry these pies. Let's get right here where y'all can see. You know, somebody sent me an eye to go on the back of my stove over here. Let me get you light over here where y'all can see a bit better. Well, hold on a minute, y'all. Hold on. I'm coming. Let me plug it back in. I pulled it out of the thing. Let me turn it on. There we go. All right. Pull it like that. See if that'll work. I think so. All right, here's our skillet. This is some hot grease over here. We're fixing to fry our pies out. Let me get out my platter to put them on. We'll put them right here. Might just put them right here. That way y'all can see a bit. Get us a paper towel and put in our platter. Get out our spoon that we like to use to get our pies out, which is this kind right here. All right, so we're going to test this grease and see if it's hot enough. These are my grits. I got them good. I hadn't made my gravy yet, but I will in just a minute. All right, so let me... All right, here we go. Let's test our grease. Here's how I test it. I get a little bit of the leftover dough, like that, and I just pinch off a thin piece, kind of like that. And I drop it in. If it goes down and comes immediately back up and starts frying, like it's doing right now, that's saying that your grease is just about ready. This is vegetable oil I've got in there. Let's try another one. Yep. It's ready. It's ready. You want to drop your pies in real easy. Turn that on. Maybe that'll help. Drop your pies in real easy over here. And let them cook. There you go. There you go. There, you're going to be able to see good now. Let's get our two little test things out. Set them to the side. And drop in our pies, like I said, real easy. Easy does it. Do another one. I can do 3 in my skillet. And see how they pop back up. All right, let's time this thing. All right, that's 5 seconds that they've been in there. We're going to time them, see how long it takes. Where's my other one? There he is. He got under that one, didn't he? We'll let those fry just a little bit. See how they come back up to the top? You want that to come back up because if they don't, that means you didn't have your grease hot enough. Well, he doesn't want to stay over, does he? What's wrong with you, fella? Get over and stay over. You got to cook on the other side. There we go. All right, they've been in there 1 minute. Let's see what we're going to do now. Let me turn this one over, see if it'll stay over. Sometimes air gets trapped in the dough. You know, like when I flip it over, and when it doesn't want to stay over. I'm gonna need to use 2 hands. Let me see. Y'all just have to look from a distance. I need to hold this over so it can cook on the other side. Okay, let's do this one over a little bit. All right, we're gonna let it cook 2 minutes and it'll be done. It's almost ready. I've rolled out that dough so thin. All right, that's 2 minutes. Let's take this out. I rolled it out so thin that it's done. You want to roll your dough out as thin as possible. All right, let's put 3 more in there. And we're going to time it. It'll probably take less time because my grease is even hotter than it was before. I just turned it down. And then we'll do the 2 and we'll have our 8. And that didn't take long. Now remember, and I've told y'all before, you can put any kind of pie filling that you'd like to put in your pie. I'm using apple, but you could use cherry or blueberry or peach, whatever kind you wanted. I will say this though, and I've told y'all before, but you followers probably don't know it. The strawberry pie filling does not work good. It just kind of like it disappears. I think it turns real soft in there. And so it disappears. Look at my apron today. Kentucky. Hey, Kentucky. That was sent to me today. Somebody came the other day and they said, you know what? I didn't know you were in Kentucky. I would have come to that talk that you did. I said, well, I'm sorry that you didn't know. It was in Cave City. We had the best time. They're great people. We stayed in a bed and breakfast there. Andre went with me, so we took turns driving so we could get there. And I drove from, we met, and then I drove from Andalusia, Alabama, South Alabama, to Franklin, Tennessee. And then when we got to Franklin, she drove from Franklin, Tennessee to Cave, Kentucky, and then coming back, I drove most of the way coming back. But we had the best time, and the people were so nice, and we went to I showed y'all where we went to the Grand Ole Opry, and we just had a really great time and talking to everybody. All right, we got these 2, and that's all, y'all. We're going to take those up. And we're going to have our pies done. We're going to go over here to the sink, and I'm going to show y'all how to make your, your glaze. We're going to go over here to the sink, and I'm going to show you how to take powdered sugar and water and make your glaze. You can do it with milk, but I just do it with water because it doesn't take but like a teaspoon. And we're going to put some glaze on these. And we'll have them done. They'll be so good for everybody this morning. They love these. See, they just don't take long to cook. They don't sit in the grease. They cook quick and you take them right out. That way it doesn't grab up as much grease. Because you don't want to just have them greasy. You want them crispy. All right, those are done. Take them up. I'll turn the eye off. And that was it. That's our 8 we've got. Get all that extra off and sit them right there. Now then, let's go over here. I got it turned off, so we'll go cool this. Ooh, cool. Let's put a cold spoon in it. Sometimes that helps to cool it off. Let's put this big old, that was given to me the other day. Isn't that nice? Look at that. All right, we'll put it in here and let it cool off. That'll help it cool off. All right, come over here to let's go over here. We're fixing to make our glaze to go on it. We'll get that set up this morning. Okay, let's get a cup out. I always use this. We want a little spoon. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to put in a nice scoop of powdered sugar, which I keep my powdered sugar in this one right here. So I've got a ladle in there, a scoop in there. I'm gonna get out maybe one scoop, a little bit more. All right, now y'all are gonna be surprised how little water, or how just a little water goes on this thing. Let's get our light and put it over here. That'll help to see a little bit better. Okay, so here's what you do. You turn your water on the faucet like that. Look how small I've got it going. See that little bitty drip right there? And you're going to take your spoon and your powdered sugar. This is probably 3/4 of a cup or something like that. All right, just go under and out that quick. And stir it around. Because if you get too much, I'm telling you, you'll have to put a ton of powdered sugar in it. Just don't stay but just a minute. All right, see, it's already getting soft, but it's not drippy good enough yet. So I think one more little quick under and out will be good. And I was right. That's it right there. That's all the water that it takes. Now, if you just have to feel like you need milk, well, darling, just use it if that's what you want. See how good that does now? That's your glaze. You could put, instead of water, I did this one time and it was delicious. Instead of water, you could use, orange juice. You could use orange juice. Let's do it right here where y'all can see a little bit better. I'll get right here and put you over here. Yeah, there you go. All right, let's glaze our pies. Let me get the pies out. And here they are. Move this out of the way. And here are our pies. Now what I'm going to do is this. I don't want my sugar. I only put the paper towel there to keep, to absorb grease. That's the only thing I'm doing. So now I'm going to take my pies and lay them on a clean paper towel and dump these 4 out here and take that greasy thing and move it. All right, let's do those. All right, take your glaze and gently hold your spoon kind of straight like this and it'll drip off of it. And then turn it later. Just go back and forth like that. Hold your spoon straight like that, and you don't even need to really tip it over till the very last when you don't have much in it. Okay, and that's it. Now put your other 4 on. I don't do both sides of mine. Let me do these 3, then we'll pile the other one. I crisscrossed it so the air can get to around it, and that helps. Okay, let's take our last one, put it on. All right, that's it. I've got this little bit left over, which isn't much. I'll just throw it away. Because the thing is, when you're making pies, all of it's guesstimating. All of it. And this is made out of leftover biscuit dough that I put in the refrigerator. And I added some plain flour to it so it'd be stiffer. And there you go. There you got 8 fried pies. And that didn't take long. I'm going to cover it with a clean dish towel until it's time to eat it. Anyway, I laughed at y'all and all your comments on my live. I got so tickled because y'all were laughing too. I wasn't embarrassed, but I was so sad that you couldn't hear what I had to say. But everything's good with my heart. My sleep clinic went good, and I do have sleep apnea, which I already knew I had it. But I got to go back now, and they'll fit me again with a new machine. Mine is so old. But so, everything's good, y'all. Everything's good. Love you. Have you ordered my 3rd book yet? Because, you know, the Mother's Day, we're drawing for that Mother's Day basket on the May the 9th, whatever today is. We're going to do it on May 9th. And then on Mother's Day, we're going to announce the winner. And who's eligible for the basket? Anybody. Anybody who has already ordered the 3rd book. If you haven't ordered it, you're not eligible. If you've already ordered it, you're eligible. If your name is already on the list, you're eligible. I'll put it in the words. Bye.